Good morning and welcome to another episode of Lifestyle in the Garden. I'm Elaine and I am in Baltimore, Maryland. It is term zone 7 to I think 8A, something like that. But if you're new to our channel, welcome. And today I'm just gonna do little knickknacks around the garden. Just doing some cleanup. We put in a new fountain the other day. So actually yesterday my husband was working on getting power to the fountain. So that is now completed. So I'm gonna go ahead and show that to you and just do a little bit of cleanup around the yard. There's stuff I'm pruning back. There's plants that I got and I want to figure out where I'm gonna put those and just little things around the yard. So let's go. So this is the back of the fountain and I'm toying around. So this is the power to the fountain, and as you can see it is threaded along the wall, going on top of the step, and this was done yesterday, so I'm still cleaning up. This is the lily bed, the major lily bed, and you can see what it is when all the lilies are gone. Not so pretty. These, they grow, they self-seed themselves. They can be annoying, but at least it's, flowers when the lilies are gone, until I figure out exactly, how I'm going to do this bed so I have all year interest. So back to power to the, see my fountain? Back to the power to the fountain. So I'm figuring out what I'm gonna put on top. I kind of like this. It's actually a candle holder, but I like the way it looked. So I'm gonna paint the wood, and not anything bright that is going to take away from the fountain, but something pretty. Haven't decided on that yet, but something that would also kind of show up. So this is the back of the extended lily bed with the fountain in the front, and I just didn't want a piece of stick sticking out, here. I wanted it to look good from, the different angles. The rose is still doing great. Have some deadheading to do, and still have a few pretty blooms going on. So today I'll be doing mostly cleanups, moving things around. So I'm so happy that the power is there to the fountain and I can enjoy that, a little bit later. So for now it's cleanup. I have 1 and 2 projects around, where down by the shed I have a metal ornament and I'll be putting that up. I just put a screw where it's gonna go, so I'm just gonna tack it in a little bit. So I'm not gonna take up all the time trying to show you how to screw up something in and hang something. So you'll just see me, swishing through the garden, just doing little things. And if you have a garden, these are just some of the stuff you're gonna do. You're gonna do your cleanup for your little resort area. As Linda Vardas said, you treat it like a resort, so you come and zhuzh things up. Also, the dried stalks from the lilies, these, I reuse them in the garden. Some people will compost. I have a compost pile back there, and honestly, that's been going on for probably a year. It's just tree branches and stuff that I threw down in there. Not really composting, but I find that bin is just place where I just throw things. So these are some of the stalks I collected, and later on I'm going to show you exactly what I do with some of the stalks. And that's an empty pot, Honestly, I still have not figured out what I'm going to put in there. I do have a beautiful rose I got on clearance, but this is where we sit. And, you know, I don't want my daughter, my granddaughter, or even myself getting tangled up in rose or getting poked by it. So I'm kind of rethinking that to be out here on the terrace where we are. There's a rose down the back that I like, and I cut a couple of the branches off to kind of highlight where I'm going to walk, the little walking path. So I like it. I, you know, stuck it in some water. I'll be sure to check those and throw it off daily so I don't, you know, get to reduce the mosquitoes. Can't get rid of them, but to reduce the mosquito breeding. Over on the terrace, we also have Orsedum, and I think that's Autumn Joy. So it's getting ready to put on a show. There's a couple blooms on it. It does look pitiful back here. This is obedience plant or Veronica that broke off, the one in the back, and I put it in a little bit of soil, and there it is. It's catching on. This is a mum, or maybe a chrysanthemum, if it's the same. Some people say mum, some people say chrysanthemum. So that is growing in that pot. Actually, my neighbor has a perennial mum, and I was trying to get one, and I bought a couple mums last year, and 2 came back. This one, and there's one in the front. So I'm happy for that. Those Asiatic lilies, I got them on clearance, and I like their upward, you know, growth habit of those, and they're pretty sturdy, so I like those. The Veronica tend to flop over, so it might act like as a little, you know, brace or support for those. So this is my vegetable garden patch, my bins, and hopefully they haven't eaten it. I have one ripe tomato. What do you know? And there's some others. They're nice and green. So my tomatoes are coming on. But you know, it's just so rewarding when you look and you see something that you actually grow. So this is my oriental and edible garden. Nothing much in there, but it is. So I have tomatoes. There's supposed to be some bell peppers. I have not seen those really. There is, I don't know if this is a melon or a pumpkin, but we shall see. So I put it in a pot because, you know, this will run all over the place. And the mint, I have pulled a lot of it, and there it is again, still growing. I put it in that box right there. And this is my potato bin. So I don't know if you see in the corner there was a bird. There's still a tiny egg. I'm not sure if the bird actually came out. I didn't touch it because I didn't want to mess with anything there. So I kind of hardly came in this corner because mommy bird, like every time I come over, you would hear her. And I know how it is with mothers and their babies. You don't go near mommies and their babies, do you? So my heucheras and corabelles, I dug some up. I put them here because they were just being scorched. And that is my little clematis. There's another one I got on sale. I'm not sure if I'm going to put it here, maybe put it, I don't know. So this is kind of my little holding area that I hold things and then kind of decide where they're going to go. I don't know if you remember me planting up these 2 pots with 2 hydrangeas that I got on sale. And this one is actually giving me a bloom. Isn't that beautiful? I don't know what it is. It had no tag, so we'll see what it is. And they're flushing out pretty nicely. They've got a lot of new foliage on them. That's the second one. I haven't seen any bloom, but they're really flushing out quite nicely. I think I'll do a little before and after of certain things in the garden. This is my allium. I had divided an allium down in the back. I pulled some pieces off, and these are coming. I have a faint idea where I want to put some alliums, so I'll let them hang out there for now. These are some cuttings from a hydrangea on the patio, so who knows, it's trial and error or trowel and error. So I cut these. I had a pot with some soil and I poked them in there. If they grow, they grow. If they don't, they don't. So one of the things I'm trying to do as well is to use the things that I have and see if I can get more plants, because these plants are definitely expensive. It's if you have friends who you can get plants from, that's good, but it's kind of an expensive hobby sometimes. You're gonna see things you love and it doesn't matter what it costs. If you really love it, you're gonna get it. So let's go down the back and put that little ornament up. So let's go down to the shed. So you'll just see me tinkering around. Get my camera in place. I'm gonna have to pound it a little bit because the drill and the head weren't sinking, so I'm gonna pound it a little bit so my little hanging doesn't fall down. Nice and sturdy. Not exactly where I want it. Yes. All right. Now we're getting somewhere. All right, so that's one thing down. Got all kind of cleanups to do. These are just added ornaments. There's two of these. The one that was there was my welcome sign, and we had a little freak storm and it blew it off and broke it, so hopefully I can mend it. So because that's broken, I got those. Then also I saw a little surprise today. So remember that vine just trying to run all over the place? I was watering it this morning and look what I saw. Maybe that's a melon. I don't think that's a pumpkin, but that's the only one I saw. I'm really gonna have to try to get a trellis or something for it to climb, because I don't want it climbing my hydrangea though. and it's trying to. It's getting in there. So I keep removing it, throwing it over there. So that's a great surprise this morning. So I'm watering. I'm gonna try to tuck a few plants in the ground. I don't think I'll put this coneflower right here because I'm thinking this looked like a quick fire hydrangea. I got it on sale and it did not have a tag. It looks like quick fire, acts like quick fire, might be a quick fire. So it should get larger, and I love this plant. I love this flower with the mop head. So I would really love it to live. I wouldn't want to kill that, even though I got it on sale. No, I didn't get that one on sale. I actually bought that one full price. It was $10. So I love it though. I would love to really have some more in my garden. And I have cut back this marigold so the other plants can get some sunlight, because I realized it was drowning them out and killing them. I cut this one back only to note my salvia is struggling down there. So that fungus or whatever it is, this is the area for the fountain. And there's an old tree stump right there. It's not fully gone. So from time to time I do get these mushroom looking. They look pretty, but they're hard. I really don't want it over there. And then I also have to cut it back so the artemisia can get some light, because I realized it was like just dying out. My deutzia still has not done anything. Maybe it's shock due to me putting it there. Also my hardy, my Cranesville, it's struggling a little bit. I'm going to cut it back once it gets a little cooler, because I would really love it to be there in the ground. It does well in the pot, but I'm trying to get rid of a lot of the pots and get stuff in the ground. These are looking quite nice. This is another one of those coneflowers. For some reason this one is drying up. I'm definitely going to have to get this one in the ground today. So you can see maybe something came through and broke the leaves. Some of the blooms are getting all spent, so I'm going to try to get them in the ground. It's a little hot right now, so I'm not going to do any planting. I just gave them some water. There's that plant over there as well. Had it quite some time. I need to trim it up. This is the Proven Winner, Heaven Sent, and Polemonium. So I'm gonna, it says full sun, part shade. I don't know, maybe I can tuck it onto there, but not much is in this corner, because that's a foxglove, and I would love it to reseed and take up that entire length. That's its little corner. It can do that. So that's the extended lily bed. And then we did a few things over the weekend. I told you about the wiring that we did. So the fountain now has its dedicated power, and I have painted it. It's down there. Painted it, and my little sign. And I had that it's for a candle. I got it thrifting. When I go thrifting, these are the little quirky stuff I like to find. Metal things that I can put in my garden that I can use other than the real use that they were. And I think it would be a nice topper for that pole. So that's that. And I like the way the yellow rose is blooming, you know, beside the fountain. Might have to trim it a little bit so none of the leaves actually start falling in. I'm planning on relocating. Now that I have the fountain, I want to relocate this fountain I had that I actually planted up and actually turn it back into, well, it's a bird bath, not a fountain. Actually transform it back into a bird bath. And figuring out where in the yard I'll put those. And let's move down to the shed. We did some work. Hub was organizing his side of the shed this weekend, and I got a couple things done. He put those hanging hooks up for me for the baskets, so now I've adorned them with the baskets. They're looking quite nice. Well, this is not the real basket for this, but I had this with some had some creeping Jenny, so why not? Let's balance the area. This is one of the baskets, and it will look better next year. I'm not gonna fuss about putting stuff in there now. This was a plant I had, and that's my little artwork, metal artwork. And my neighbor gave me that granite, and I have, it's actually a wood for wood, and I'm using it like as a table topper that I can put something on. So that's by the shed. And around the front I had that other metal, it's a candle holder, but I stuffed plants in there. I had that one on the tree, so I moved it over here. And I'd cut back, did a Chelsea chop on the salvia. It flushed back a little bit. Not much bloom, but it's doing something. And my coreopsis is showing off as usual. I am trying to get something under there. I had put a small salvia seedling or sprout. It's struggling underneath this tree. Well, it's a shrub. I'm limiting it up to be a tree. Provide some shade. I need some shade in this yard. So in the bench area where the bench is, I'm gonna either put a deck or something like a fire ring with some stones, something. So that's what that pile of mess is right now while I try to figure out what's going on. And I would love to put my Japanese maple, that one there, somewhere nearby to create some shade. I know the arborvitae edge, they will grow probably about 10, 12 feet, something like that, maybe more. So then I know I'll get a little bit of shade, but I want like in the actual yard itself, you know, somewhere where we can run and hide. So I think somewhere close to where that bag of soil is and the milkweed, I might put the Japanese maple. Shouldn't get too big. I'm trying to run away from large trees. I've cut 3 of them, and they were like upwards of $4,000 each, so I'm not trying to get any more big trees. And this is my my rose. It smells divine. I'm gonna keep it in this pot. I don't know for how long. It's the Pope John Paul II. It does smell awesome. Got a couple, and I still have a few up there. This is what it looks like. It's beautiful. I do have those rough spots on it. I'm gonna do some neem oil on it and see if that takes care of it. That's my problem with rose. They always tend to have these things. So I don't do a lot of roses. But I did love this this white Pope John Paul. It smells awesome. I'm gonna plant this out in the yard. Still have not figured out, it needs full sun. Of course I have that, but I want it somewhere where it's really gonna give that impact. This is my newest rose, and I am just loving it. And these blooms are up maybe about 3 or so days, so that's good that they don't fall off like every day or every other day. So it is awesome. I love the color on it. It smells nice. Oh, you just don't want to pick these things. You just want it to be out there and do as much as it can. And I did paint that pot. So this is the other pot that I painted as well. So I actually have 5 of these pots, and I'm so happy that the paint that my husband was going to throw away, I got to paint that stand for the bird. Well, it's not really a bird house, but the power to the fountain, and those pots, and 3 more pots. So those are just little additions that I've done, and I'm happy the way they turn out. And I did show you my trumpet vine. I had one little cluster of trumpets. I try to wrap it around the trellis because I wanted to create like a shady space. It looks like a mess, but these are what I grew it for. My neighbor has one, my friend, and I'm telling you, it is covered with these things. It looks beautiful. So that's what I want out here. I might have to stake this trellis because this thing is heavy. And then I have it running on 2 sides, so I think I'm gonna twirl it on the top to try to balance it. This clematis is really struggling. The rabbits eat it, all kind of stuff. So it's not even going up the trellis. I might have to relocate it and let this trumpet vine just do its thing all over this thing. But it's still beautiful. This is after it has given that flower, so it still has a pretty little swirl. And I'm coming out here to weed this, but when the sun goes down today, and I need to figure out what I had put these here, but I'm not sure this is exactly what I want here. I need something that's gonna be mounding, low growing, and just define this circle. So to really give it that centerpiece kind of, kick and pop. My urn, that storm had toppled this thing over, and you would have thought this heavy thing wouldn't be turned over, but it did. So I'm just letting it do whatever. I like what was in there. I'll see what they have next year, and just keep on pepping up. On the side, do have a balloon flower, the white one. Seems to be happy there. I had the I forgot what these are. I had these and only 3's left. Just 3. And there again, I still have those little mound of I call them fungus. They look like mushroom. They keep coming up everywhere. I think where the tree roots extend. Before the tree actually died, on the ground there was like tons of mushroom out here, covered the backyard. And then afterwards, the tree did not leaf out, so that's when we knew it died. So you can see that bee. He's just enjoying that, isn't he? Well, there's a few things on it, but there's a bumblebee back there. I don't know if you can see him. I don't want to spook him. And I hope those are seeds, because I do love those. So I'll come out and collect some seed. This the milkweed just pops its seed all over. And I plan to come and address this bed today, see if I can, do some weeding and start finishing it off. I have the mulch, all that stuff. So on the back end, I want to move those plants and then cover it with the mulch and make it finished. And this is a daylily that I got. This is a Shasta daisy. And then this one is an autumn sage, and I moved it. It was where that quick fire, and I told you it was under there. So I moved it, and then all the branches died back, and then I saw that little piece. So I'm babying that thing. It's red, and I just love it. Should look like that. And then this is on the struggle bus. I had moved that and put it there. This is a hydrangea. I saw it growing. I don't know what it sprung off, but I put it in here and it's catching on nicely, so I like that. I think I'll actually plant it there once it gets bigger sometime next year. And beside the workbench is where I have the coneflowers. And I have this one, but I don't want to, I mean, I want those to seed and kind of fill this area out. So I'm wondering if, or maybe I could just put it over there. There's a good place for it. Put it on that side. Because I don't want it to be densely planted and spaced out. I was thinking of putting it in here, but there's the rose. There's gonna be milkweed because it sowed a lot of seeds back there. And then this one, forgot what it is, but it's lovely. I love this, and I would love it to spread out all the way to the back. This rose is constantly on a struggle bus. So these are what the leaves of my rose are. And I'm gonna treat it with some more neem oil and see. This dianthus, I had taken it out of a pot and placed it here. And this, I love, the rainbow ascot, euphorbia. It does well here, it's happy here. So my plan is to maybe put some more, but I do have this hellebore that's struggling here for some reason. I have it in the sun and it's there in a pot. Doesn't look so bad, and I said, they like shade. Let's put it in the shade, but it still looks like it's struggling. But I'm gonna leave it here because I would love all this to be hellebores. Then I have my blue hydrangea. It's done. And there's some sweet peas. They're done too. Looking quite scraggly. And then this is a rose that has always grown here. I'm gonna cut that back. It's, I don't know, it does white, but it just looks so gnarly. And there's some sweet pea. That's the color of the sweet pea I have, and they tend to just come up over here. I just let them. My dahlia, it was in a pan and I didn't realize it was catching water, and this is the results. Yes, I've killed a lot of plants. Hopefully this is hanging on because I kind of like it. It's white. So that's what's left of the smaller daylily bed. And I want to add something in. So while it's at this stage, for something to be, going on in there. So I might figure out what, I would like something kind of a little tall. Can't be anything low because then the daylilies would overshadow it and it probably won't grow. So I'm gonna have to think about this little area, what I'm gonna do to it. Maybe reshape this bed somewhat. It's like a half moon, kind of. So maybe open it up a little bit and see. Yeah, we're gonna have to rethink that. The urn and those other two pots and a little geranium, and there's that empty pot that I'm going to, I don't know what I'm going to put in there yet. But what I'm going to do is those stalks from the daylily, I'm going to clip them into small bits, and then put a bit in the bottom before I put the soil in, and then put a little bit on top of the soil, and then layer it like that. So I actually reuse these in the garden. So over time they'll break down instead of just piling them up and just throwing them out. I mean, you could also compost them as well, but that's what I try to do, create a little air, you know, in the soil for the plants. So I'm back up to this humongous vine that's trying to run everywhere. So I'm gonna have to get something to stake it and give it the opportunity to run upwards, because I don't want this running all over the yard. There it is, trying to do all that. But it's nice, I like it. Pollinators love it. So that's my update for you today. So I'm back at this quick fire. So you have a wonderful day, and until the next time. I think I saw a butterfly. You see that bumblebees? I see a butterfly. Hold on. It's on the salvia. You see him fluttering back there? See him? I saw a monarch the other day. He's enjoying that salvia. Ooh. Okay. So, enjoy. And until next time, remember to share, like, and subscribe. And also leave a comment if you think there's something that could work in the garden. Drop me a line, leave me a comment. Have a great day, and thanks for being here with us on Lifestyle in the Garden. Thank you. Have a great day.